Turn up the volume for this. 5 people remain lost at sea tonight in a deep diving submersible that went missing on a voyage to the Titanic. Canadian aircraft detected underwater noises for the second day. But here's the thing. Even if the sub is located, the clock is ticking on attempting an actual rescue. The U.S. Coast Guard estimates oxygen will run out just after 7 a.m. tomorrow. That is less than 8 hours from now. NBC's Tom Costello has the details.
900 miles east of Massachusetts, Canadian air crews continue to drop sonar buoys and report hearing unusual noise in the water both yesterday and today. Planes, ships, and drones are now aggressively searching a grid near the sunken Titanic. But so far, nothing. The Navy now reviewing all sonar contacts. Can you describe what the noise sounds like that they're hearing?
The noises have been described as banging noises, but again, they have to put the whole picture together in context, and they have to eliminate potential man-made sources other than the Titan.
With me to discuss, Tim Taylor, undersea explorer and CEO of Tiburon Subsea, and Ofer Ketter, president of SubMerge. He is also a submersible pilot with 20 years of experience. Ofer, what do these noises tell us?
Good evening, Stephanie. Well, it's very hard to say. Again, I'm a submersible pilot. I've spent the majority of my life underwater, but acoustics in the big open ocean is very hard to say. We can hope, and I think that's what the rescue teams are doing, and using any sign of hope that they have at the moment to concentrate the rescue efforts in that area. But beyond that, I think it's almost impossible to say what those noises are.
Tim, take us inside this sub. What is it like for them right now?
Assuming that there was not a catastrophic failure and they're already dead, they are extremely cold. It's 29 degrees there. The temperature, water doesn't freeze because of pressure and salinity, obviously. But they may be fighting thermal issues underwater. They may be hypothermic because of cold. So dark, cold, scary, you name it. This is a nightmare scenario for someone being lost underwater.
The Coast Guard insists that this is still a rescue mission, but these challenges are enormous. Do you think there's hope?
There's always a little bit of hope, but they are extremely enormous. This would be, you have to look until it exhausts all options. And then, as the Coast Guard often does with search and rescue, there's a point in time where it's now not a rescue, it's a recovery.
OceanGate was previously warned about safety concerns. As you are an owner of an underwater exploration company, what is your reaction to that? They were given warnings and they said, we're going ahead, we're adventurers.
I have a lot of questions myself. I appreciate the exploration ethos. You want to go out and explore, you want to take a risk, you want to do that.
At what cost?
Exactly. And so you have to ask other questions. We do remote expeditions all the time. I have equipment we put on the bottom. None of it goes in without a pinger on it because it's valuable.
What's that?
It's an acoustic pinger, a beacon that will send out a signal. So if it's lost, we can find it. All right.
So why wouldn't they have done that? Just cheaped out?
I don't know. Okay. So
what do you think?
What do I think? Why didn't they load lifeboats on the Titanic when they left? It was an unsinkable ship.
But didn't we learn anything from the Titanic?
Maybe it needs to be learned all over again.
Ofer, you are a sub pilot. Would you have gone down to these depths in this sub?
I definitely would have not go down in any sub that I would not have felt ticks all the boxes when it comes to engineering, safety, redundant systems, and most important, risk assessment and all the scenarios of what happens if, what are my solutions? So that's the answer. And I don't personally know OceanGate as a company. I don't know this sub specifically. But again, all those questions that you're asking and everybody's asking are true, and are those are the questions that need to be asked. Unfortunately, we don't have at the moment any answers to those questions. But it is quite surprising that there were no, redundant safety systems, backup safety systems, and then definitely a scenario. If this happens, then how do we solve it, right? Which is what risk assessment is all about. So that would be my answer to that question.
With risk assessment comes the cost of things. Right. And I know this may come across as insensitive, but this rescue mission is enormously expensive. Mm-hmm. It will cost millions and millions of dollars. And these people knowingly participated, took enormous risks, signed waivers that said you could perish on this trip. Who should be responsible for paying this massive bill?
Not my job.
Because
not my job level to do that.
But you could have an opinion.
That's going to be
right. If I need an ambulance to come, if I shoot off fireworks in my backyard, an ambulance comes, I'm paying for that.
There's civilized rules of society. One of those is especially a law of the sea, someone's in trouble, we're going to go try to help. And that is sorting that out. Who's going to be responsible and pay? What lessons we're going to learn from this is the next part of this story. And there are billionaires on board. How much would those billionaires want to pay right now to have an ROV, but that would have been on that boat all the time, ready to go? All right, do you think they would have paid any price? I think they would have, and they may have paid the ultimate price.
They may have paid the ultimate price, and we certainly hope they get rescued soon.